Imagine a world where the very winds carry magic, where ancient prophecies haunt modern leaders, and where the most broken individuals are poised to become the greatest heroes. What if healing old wounds meant embracing a power you never knew you possessed, and uniting a shattered people was the only way to avert a cosmic catastrophe? That's the electrifying premise behind Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings. It's this monumental book that isn't just a story, it's really the thunderous overture to an epic 10-volume saga, the Stormlight Archive. This book is celebrated for its immense scale, its intricate plotting, and, well, a deeply probing ethical core that truly makes you think.
It really does. And today, for this deep dive, our mission is to guide you through its complex narrative and thematic bedrock. We'll try and extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight, helping you understand what makes this book, well, a cornerstone of modern epic fantasy.
Okay, so let's unpack this incredible world you've brought us into, Roshar. It isn't just a setting, it feels like a character in itself, right? Defined by this utterly formidable environment.
Oh, absolutely. It feels truly unlike anything else in fantasy. The defining feature of Roshar is undeniably the highstorms.
Right.
These aren't just weather events. They are continent-sweeping tempests that deliver magical stormlight. And this incredible force shapes the entire ecology.
How so?
Well, it causes flora and fauna alike to retract or, shell themselves for survival. Imagine living in a world where plants literally pull into the ground.
Wow.
And creatures have natural armor just to endure the daily weather. It's an ecosystem designed for constant, brutal survival.
And out of that primal power, you get this distinctive geography. I'm thinking specifically of the war-torn plateau maze, the shattered plains.
Exactly, where 10 Alethi armies are locked in this brutal, seemingly never-ending war.
Hunting those giant chasm fiends for their gem hearts.
That's right, these giant crustacean megafauna. Their gem hearts are incredibly valuable. It sounds like a grim, relentless existence, doesn't it?
It really does.
And it is. But intrinsically linked to this world are the Spren.
Ah, the Spren. Sentient emotion and element spirits, you said.
Yeah, they're everywhere, from, the simplest emotion like anger manifesting as tiny red flames to the fundamental elements themselves. What's fascinating here is how the very ecosystem of Roshar is intrinsically linked to its magical and even its emotional reality.
So emotions are literally visible.
In many cases, yes. And certain bonds with specific types of Spren are what grant individuals surge-binding abilities, tying the physical world directly to the metaphysical.
That must change social interactions completely. Knowing your feelings might be, well, on display.
It certainly adds a layer of complexity. And beyond the storms and the creatures, Roshar also has this deeply structured society. You mentioned the Elethai-Vorin hierarchy.
Yeah, with the light-eyed nobility ruling over the dark-eyed commoners.
It's a really strict system. It even dictates gender roles, like the division of masculine and feminine arts, where men read complex glyphs and women read script. This hierarchy is at the heart of so much of the conflict.
Especially for someone like Kaladin.
Exactly. He gets stripped of his status and forced into slavery, despite his skills. It's brutal.
And we also have the Parshendi, this warrior nation fighting the Alethi. Contrasted with the docile Parshmen, who are often slaves, there's a hint of mystery there about their origins.
A huge mystery. Yeah, their connection is a major thread, hinting at ancient connections that could unravel everything they think they know about their world. It definitely shakes things up later on.
Okay, so with this pretty intense world as our backdrop, who are the individuals caught in its storms? Let's zoom in on the key players. The book masterfully interweaves multiple viewpoints, doesn't it?
It really does. Our first central figure is Kaladin Stormblast. He's a former surgeon's apprentice, son of a surgeon, who finds himself betrayed, branded a slave, and forced into these suicidal missions as a bridgeman.
Carrying bridges across chasms while under fire?
Precisely. His arc is this profound battle against trauma and despair as he tries to protect those around him, all while grappling with the emergence of these powerful Windrunner abilities.
Okay, Kaladin. Who else?
Then there's Shallan Davar. She's a Veden noblewoman as aspiring scholar. She gets caught up in this secret plot to steal a magical artifact, a soulcaster, to save her family from financial ruin.
But she's also discovering her own powers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She starts awakening her own Lightweaver abilities, which involve manipulating light and illusion, creating disguises, that sort of thing.
So Kaladin, the leader, forged in despair, and Shallan, uncovering secrets. But then there's Dalinar Kholin, the Blackthorn. He sounds like a traditional warrior, but you mentioned these highstorm visions. How do they change him?
That's a great question. Dalinar starts as this almost legendary, ruthless warlord. But these visions, they start to fundamentally shake his core beliefs. They show him glimpses of the past, of the Knights Radiant, and urge him to unite them.
Unite who? The Alevithi.
It seems so. The visions push him to question the very Alethea war customs he helped establish, this focus on glory and competition above all else. It sets him apart.
And not necessarily in a good way for him.
Definitely not. The other High Princes think he's going soft, or maybe mad. And lurking in the shadows, we have Seath Sun Villano. He's a Shin truthless assassin.
The one who wields incredible power, but hates it.
That's him. He wields potent surge binding, but only under compulsion because of his Oathstone. He's forced to kill, and he visibly dreads each act, often weeping as he carries out his assignments. Heartbreaking, really.
What a tragic figure.
And we should briefly mention Jasna Kholin, Dalinar's niece. She's a brilliant but, let's say, heretical scholar, a powerful soulcaster herself, and she becomes Shallan's mentor.
Okay.
And then there's Wit, also known as Hoyd, this enigmatic kind of wandering storyteller who seems to pop up at key moments, observing things, offering cryptic commentary. He feels connected to something much, much bigger than just Roshar.
Right. You know, what strikes me is how these personal dilemmas, they aren't just isolated problems. They feel like they echo the bigger issues of Roshar itself.
Absolutely. Their individual struggles become epic because they reflect something universal about their world, about honor, responsibility, trauma. All of it.
Okay, let's talk about the power systems then. The magic. It seems integral.
They're completely integral. You've got surge binding, first off. This involves inhaling stormlight, that magical energy from the highstorms, to manipulate fundamental forces. Think adhesion, gravitation, stuff like that.
Like Kaladin flying or Seth walking on walls.
Exactly. It was practiced by the ancient knights' radiant orders, and we see it emerging again in Kaladin and Szeth.
Then there's soul casting. What's that about?
Soul casting is the ability to transmute matter, turn rock into smoke, or air into grain, for instance. You can do it innately, like Jasna, or through a magical device called a fabrial, which focuses the power.
That sounds incredibly powerful and potentially dangerous.
Very. It have profound philosophical and practical implications. And finally, you have the highly prized shard blades and shard plate.
Ah, yes, the giant magic swords and armor.
Pretty much. They're these invested weapons and armor left behind centuries ago when the Knights Radiant supposedly betrayed mankind. They are incredibly powerful, almost indestructible, sought after by all the Alethi Light Eyes. Owning shards is a massive status symbol and a strategic military asset.
So duels over them must be common.
Extremely. They drive a lot of the political maneuvering and conflict. And these powers, they aren't just cool combat tools. They're crucial elements driving the plot and shaping the characters' journeys.
Right, so let's dive into those journeys. Kaladin's arc, you said, it's a powerful, redemptive one. Starts from rock bottom.
Absolutely rock bottom. His story really kicks off after his betrayal by Bright Lord Amaram. That leads to his enslavement and being sold to Bridge 4.
The cannon fodder, essentially.
Yeah, assigned to suicide missions, carrying these heavy assault bridges across chasms under direct Parshendi arrow fire. It's designed to break men. Yet, from this utter hopelessness, Kaladin begins to change things. He starts to train the men in Bridge 4.
How? What does he do?
He introduces basic spear drills, teaches them discipline. He encourages them to scavenge Parshendi carapace for makeshift shields. Slowly, painstakingly, he builds cohesion and, crucially, hope within this doomed unit.
Against incredible resistance, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. From the other bridgemen initially, and certainly from the commanding officers like Sadeas, Kaladin's journey is this intense exploration of leadership and trauma. His past failures haunt him, constantly intertwining with his present struggles.
And then Sadeas crucifies him.
Yeah, leaves him tied up outside during a high storm as punishment. It's meant to kill him. But that's a pivotal moment. Cilia, his honest friend, forms a stronger bond with him, and the stormlight heals his wounds. It's undeniable proof of his radiant potential.
Wow. So that leads to the climax at the tower.
It does. His third ideal, I will protect even those I hate so long as it is right, gives him the strength and ability. He leads the surviving bridgemen in this desperate last-ditch rescue of Dalinar Kholin and his army, who've been betrayed by Sadeas.
Displaying some serious aerial surge binding, right?
Absolutely breathtaking stuff. Flying, lashing enemies. It's incredible. And the aftermath is just as shocking. Dalinar, seeing Kaladin's honor and sacrifice, trades his own priceless shard blade to Sadeas.
Just gives it away.
Gives it away to buy the freedom of all the Bridge 4 men. It's a massive statement. And it cements Kaladin's new role as the captain of Dalinar's personal guard. a huge turning point for both characters.
Incredible. Okay, what about Shallan? Her journey is more about secrets and discovery.
Yes, Shallan's unveiling truths takes a different path. It starts with her journey to the city of Kharbranth. Her secret mission is to steal a soulcaster from Dalinar Kholin to save her noble house, House Davar, from ruin.
But she ends up becoming Jasna's student, doesn't she?
She does. And their ethical debates are fascinating, especially when Jasna gives this shocking demonstration of lethal soulcasting, turning alley robbers into smoke and crystal. It really shakes Shallan's worldview and makes her question her own moral compass and Jasna's.
Things get more complicated for her, though.
Oh, yeah. Her crisis deepens when there's a poisoning attempt on Jasna by an ardent named Kabsel, who Shallan thought was her friend. It exposes this whole web of conspiracies involving secret societies.
And Shallan accidentally uses her own power.
In a moment of panic, yeah. She accidentally soulcasts a goblet, nearly killing herself, and is forced to confess her original motives, the theft plot, to Jasna.
How does Jasna react?
Surprisingly, it leads to a reconciliation. Jasna sees Shallan's potential and perhaps understands her desperation. And together, working through ancient texts, they stumble upon a terrifying possibility. The docile parshmen, the slaves found everywhere.
They might be the Voidbringers, the ancient enemy.
Exactly. The legendary apocalyptic enemy that everyone thought was just myth or history. This completely flips the script on who the heroes and villains might really be. It raises that crucial question. What happens when the truth you seek fundamentally shatters your understanding of the world?
That's a heavy revelation. Okay, shifting to Dalinar. His search for unity is driven by those unsettling highstorm visions, right?
Yeah, these visions depict the ancient knights radiant, fighting impossible battles, and they contain this powerful recurring call to unite them. This makes him seriously question the brutal Alethi war customs, the constant infighting, the focus on glory over cooperation customs he himself helped establish and enforce as the Blackthorn.
So he tries to change things.
He does. He embraces this new, honor-driven code based on the visions in an ancient text, also called the Way of Kings. But this alienates the other high princes. They see it as weakness. Even his own nephew, King Ilhokar, starts to suspect him of plotting assassination, ironically.
Because being honorable is seen as suspicious.
In their culture, yes. Dalinar proposes formal codes of war, trying to bring back some sense of order and reduce pointless casualties, but the other Light Eyes just scorn it as weakness. He even experiences this chilling vision of the Day of Recreance.
What's that?
The day centuries ago when the Knights Radiant suddenly, inexplicably discarded their shard blades and shardplate and just walked away. Abandoned mankind, it haunts him.
So this is a real transformation for him.
It's a profound midlife conversion, really. He's confronting this toxic militarism he used to embody and seeking true honor. It culminates in him accepting the title High Prince of War, not for conquest, but vowing to unite Alethkar against this newly understood ancient threat and the predicted Everstorm.
And we briefly circle back to Seth, the assassin.
Right, Szeth Sunsun Villano, the Shin truthless assassin, still wielding surge binding under compulsion, still weeping with each killing.
He gets a new master, you said.
Yes. His arc profoundly questions absolute obedience versus moral autonomy. Despite his clear remorse, he's bound by his oath stone, and his mysterious new master now orders him to target Dalinar Kholin.
Setting him on a collision course with the others.
Exactly. This whole book asks so many difficult questions about duty versus conscience, doesn't it?
It really does. So, okay, beyond the thrilling action and the character arcs, what are the big ideas here? The Way of Kings feels incredibly rich thematically.
Oh, definitely. One of the central conflicts that jumps out is honor versus expediency. You see it so clearly in Dalinar's new codes of war. He insists on a principled approach, even if it's less efficient militarily.
Compared to someone like Sadeas.
Exactly. Sadeas will happily throw thousands of bridgemen into suicide runs just to gain a tactical edge. He values quick gains, gem hearts, over human lives. It's this stark, compelling contrast that forces you, the reader, to question what true leadership actually means. Then there's leadership and responsibility. Kaladin's whole journey redefines authority. For him, it's not about dominance or status, it's about protection, about service to those under his command, even when they're slaves.
The book also goes deep into mental health and trauma, which feels quite modern for epic fantasy.
Incredibly powerful depictions, yeah. We see struggles with deep depression, survivor's guilt, PTSD, even hints of addiction through characters like Kaladin, Shallan, and Dalinar. What's fascinating here is how the internal battles are presented as just as intense and complex as the external wars. It really grounds the epic scope in something very human, very relatable.
That resonates. What else?
Well, there's faith, skepticism, and heresy, explored a lot through Jasno's outspoken atheism and her intellectual clashes with the dominant foreign religion and its orthodoxy. It fuels a lot of ethical considerations.
And the idea of bonds and oaths seems critical.
Hugely significant.
Yeah.
The Spren bonds literally formalize promises, giving them metaphysical weight, and the catastrophic impact of broken oaths is shown explicitly in the history of the Radiant's collapse, the Recreants. It's a powerful statement about the real power of your word, your commitments. Finally, the ethics of war are constantly under scrutiny. The Highstorm visions directly critique the Alethi glory culture, and the whole plight of the bridgeman serves as this brutal symbol of the expendability of human life in pursuit of conquest and wealth. By centering a slave's perspective like Kaladin's, Sanderson really indicts these hierarchical war economies.
And Sanderson uses symbols too, right? Like the high storm itself.
Yeah, the high storm acts as this recurring symbol of cleansing, destructive power, but also renewal, bringing the vital stormlight. And you have things like key text, these intricate, palindromic, poetic forms the characters sometimes encounter or write, symbolizing cyclical time and mirrored truths. So if you boil it down, the book's key takeaways are pretty profound. Oaths forge identity, showing that the words characters speak, their ideals, literally reshape their destiny and grant power. Unity is salvation, pushing the idea that cooperation, not rivalry, is essential against apocalyptic threats.
Voicing the voiceless too, you mentioned.
Yes, by centering a slave's perspective, it really indicts those exploitative systems. And finally, knowledge as double-edged. Shallan's quest shows that uncovering truth, while potentially liberating, can also destabilize everything you thought you knew, personally and culturally.
It's not just the story, though, is it? The way Sanderson tells it feels masterful.
Oh, the craft is exceptional. His multi-point of view mosaic is brilliant. He jumps between characters Kaladin, Shallan, Dalinar, Seth, plus interludes with others. But what's incredible is how distinct each voice is. You always know who you're reading through their specific thoughts, their vocabulary, their perspective.
And the world building feels so organic.
Exactly. It's fractal world building. The scope expands naturally through maps, illustrations, those chapter heading epigraphs, which are often snippets of in-world letters, ancient texts, or research notes. And the interludes give us these fascinating glimpses into other cultures and corners of Roshar without info dumping.
He even invented poetry, the key texts.
Yeah. Demonstrating palindromic rhetoric in world and the aphoristic compression in oaths like life before death, strength before weakness, journey before destination. They're memorable and meaningful.
It feels like a blend of genres, too.
Definitely. It combines epic fantasy with elements of military fiction, deep philosophical discourse, and even mystery investigation, especially with Shallan's storyline.
And it clearly worked. Didn't it debut high on bestseller lists?
It did. #7 on the New York Times bestseller list right out of the gate. And it received widespread critical acclaim for that Tolkien-esque scope, but also for its incredibly deep character work. The fandom impact has been huge, too. It's spawned the Coppermind Wiki, which is this massive fan-run encyclopedia. There's elaborate cosplay, intricate theory-crafting discussions online. It really captured people's imaginations. There was even a VR game demo back in 2018 trying to recreate Shardplay duels.
Okay, well, we've taken a pretty comprehensive deep dive today, haven't we? From the vivid, storm-lashed world of Roshar and its compelling, often broken characters, to this rich tapestry of themes like honor, unity, mental health, and the ethics of war. We hope you're finding value in these explorations. And before we wrap up, just a quick reminder to check out our Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel. It offers more AI book analysis aiming to inspire reflection and rational thought on various works.
Absolutely. The Way of Kings really operates on multiple levels simultaneously. It's a heroic saga, sure, but it's also a philosophical treatise and a sharp social critique. By fusing that relentless action with these profound meditations on morality, trauma, and responsibility, Sanderson just revitalizes epic fantasy. He leaves you right on the precipice, waiting for that next Stormborn revelation.
It really does, and this book leaves us with such a powerful notion that even when facing cosmic threats, maybe the most important words we can say, the oaths we choose to uphold, are what truly forge our destiny. So, maybe something to think about is, what does it mean in your own life to find the most important words you can say and to truly live them? We definitely encourage you to explore The Way of Kings and the rest of the Stormlight Archive if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe, share it with a friend or fellow reader, and perhaps consider purchasing the book via the link in our description. Keep thinking critically, keep questioning, and keep seeking those fascinating stories.